Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome back to another Behind the Groove podcast. I am DJ Keo.
And I am Basil Barrington. And today we are back with Chapter 6, the Book of Boba Fett. From the desert comes a stranger.
Okay, before we get into the review, what are your thoughts on it? Has it improved? Has it gotten worse? Like, what are your thoughts on this thing?
Oh, you think this has improved? Is that what you're saying? You think this joint
I'm asking,
improved?
like, what your actual views is. Has the show just gotten better or what? Okay, I'll say this.
Mhm.
The show to me has the elements to be a good show.
Mhm.
Like the actors are good, they're solid actors.
Mhm.
The quality is very high. Like it looks good. They got Disney budget for special effects. Like these are things the directors who are involved in the show, they're good, talented directors.
Yeah.
The writer for the show is talented. It's falling apart for some reason, and I think that by the end of this show, this season, I think it was the season finales to next week.
That's
There's
it.
episode 7. That's it. I
Hmm.
think by then I have a real idea about what is terrible about, like, why is this show failing miserably at being awesome because it should be awesome. Like this is literally the perfect show for me. It's got the nostalgia from when I was a kid. I love Star Wars. I like the actors and stuff involved. I like everything this year. I love the special effects. Whatever. I'm like, yo, I should love this, and this is god awful. I can't figure it out.
Now, are you making that prediction, I should say, I'm sorry,
Mhm.
because of the last two episodes which introduced the Mandalorian? Mando?
No, okay, okay. Let's do it. We'll talk about that in the rundown when
Hmm.
we do the recap. But I don't think it's because of the Mandalorians in this show.
Hmm.
I think that it's like Boba Fett seems incompetent to me,
He is.
and it doesn't seem like he's on top of the thing. Like he talks real stoic, and
Hmm.
hey, everybody, I'm gonna tell you how to do this thing. I'm Boba Fett. Like, no, I don't want that.
Hmm.
I want Boba Fett blasting people and getting bounties and doing cool things,
Yeah.
cool shootouts. Because like this episode had a cool shootout with another person that's not Boba Fett. So everybody that comes on this show does something awesome except Boba Fett. He's the only person that hasn't done anything awesome. Like,
That is
how
so
can this
true,
be?
man. It's his, I mean, like, listen to what you're saying. You're saying, okay, we're watching the Book of Boba Fett, and
Hmm.
everything on the Book of Boba Fett, which is about Boba Fett, every
Hmm.
other character other than Boba Fett are doing like really cool things, except the character, the
Yes.
namesake Boba Fett. I mean,
Yes.
imagine that. Just listen to that statement. I mean, that's where we are with this show. I don't
Make
know
any
about
sense.
this, man. It doesn't make any sense. I want to like it because, you know, it looks
Hmm.
good. The show looks good. We can't front on
Yeah, it
that.
looks
It
good.
looks good.
Absolutely, it looks good.
They're basically using the Mandalorian studio,
It's
right?
all the set. It's the same
Yeah,
sets. It's everything. Everything's the same.
yeah, exactly. So, I mean, just the spin off of Mandalorian to that was quite simple and easy. Everything was
Hmm.
all set up. You didn't, you call in the same, workers you had, the same creative people, and just,
Everybody's there.
yeah, it's
You just
just
show up
like,
for work and get to work. That's it.
but again, the last two episodes with the introduction of Mando and also Grogu.
Hmm. Yeah.
And then you had, again, we'll get into it after the overview, but I don't know where this show is going to go. Um, but
Well, they're gonna
let's
have
get
this
in.
big battle with the syndicate or whatever nonsense. But like,
Yeah, all
I,
10 people.
but
Right.
I think my biggest issue with this show is that there's no adventure. Star
Mm-mm.
Wars is about adventure,
Mm-hmm.
about going to a brand new planet, space battles, lightsabers, the Force. Like there's adventure. There's something you haven't seen before. Like there's something cool that's happening that is a new exciting experience, and there's a cool story that's happening that you're it these are the things lacking. Like him being like this is Boba Fett right now. The book of Boba Fett is Boba Fett's clocking into his 9 to 5 job as being a gangster, running whatever mafia.
Mhm.
So he's working his 9 to 5. He's punching out every day, and he goes back home and he eats his tuna fish sandwich, and that's
Ooh,
that's
with
the show.
mayonnaise. That's gross.
It's extra mayonnaise. They got
Yeah,
raisins in there, whatever. Like
ooh. You gotta put some
this
Dijon
is
mustard in that joint, dude, for real.
this is Mando though. He's
Mhm.
clocking in. He's on the same planet every day. He's going to work. He's punching the clock. Comes out and he sits down and he eats his lunch. And this is the show. I don't want to see this. This
Yeah,
guy's he's a universe renowned bounty hunter who's not doing any bounty hunting.
nothing.
Why? And it's not a good reason. I don't care whether I saw these guys, they were bad at their job, so I figured we could do it better. That's a terrible reason. You don't
Terrible
know how to
reason, man.
that's like, I'm gonna be a truck driver. You don't know how to drive a truck. I've seen people drive a truck before. I could do this. No, you can't. You
No,
can't
no,
do that.
dude. You got 18 gears. It's pretty stressful.
Yeah,
You gotta
yeah, you
like
have no
make
idea what you're doing.
turns, corners, and everything. Come on, I'm not doing that.
Yeah. And for a guy who spent his entire existence working for mobsters, he knows very little about how mobsters operate. That
Like,
bothers me more than anything else about this show.
yeah.
He is befuddled by the concept of organized crime. How is this possible?
Oh my
Why would you take
goodness.
work from them if you don't know what they do? Like
Boba Fett, man. Come on, dude. Wait a minute here, man. You just turn
they
that on.
announced today on the last show or this show, episode 6, we need muscle. Are you kidding me? How's this? How's this a
All of a
thing?
sudden.
Oh, we need some muscle. We got 2 guys. We got Mandalorian and the Wookiee guy,
The
who's
Wookiee
cool by the
assassin.
way, who's badass by the way.
And he's
We got
back.
2 muscle
Hmm.
and some guys on some scooters.
That's
That's your
it.
muscle.
Big wheels, I know, man. Come on.
How? How is this a
It's
thing?
insane,
All right.
dude. It's
Let's
insane.
get to the rundown.
Okay, let's do a quick overview and then we will get into your favorite show, Boba Fett.
So this show is split between the Mandalorian going to some planet where Luke Skywalker is training Grogu, whatever his name is,
Grogu.
Baby Yoda, Baby
Baby
Yoda,
Yoda,
right?
exactly.
So he's over there, and he gave him like some kind of chain suit, whatever he tried to give
It's
to
a
him. It was
piece of
dumb.
armor. You know, I thought the armor was like a midriff. That's what it was, a metal midriff. I'm just like, okay, so now, you know, Grogu is gonna be like a stripper. Come on. But it's really like
Mandalorian, the
Mandalorian
Mandalorian got him.
armor. Mhm.
He got him a chain link
Yeah.
wife beater. That's
It's
what he
his
got.
armor, exactly. That's his armor
Wife
because
beater.
a youngling, he said, is supposed to have that. So, but that's pretty cool,
Okay,
you know.
he's a Jedi. He's trained to be a Jedi. He doesn't need any armor.
Mm-mm.
That's the whole point of a Jedi. They
Mm-mm.
don't need armor. They're good.
No,
Okay, to me, the fundamental flaw of this show is people are doing things that they should understand. Like the Mandalorian's been at war with the Jedi. He should have a kind of understanding about how these guys operate, what they need,
yeah.
what they don't need.
Hmm.
He should have just the basics. I've never seen a Jedi with armor before, ever,
No.
because they don't need it. They
Hmm.
have the Force.
Right.
Are you gonna shoot a laser at me?
Mhm.
Woo! Out of the way, just out of the way.
I think what he
Took the
was saying,
lightsaber, whatever.
I think what he was saying was because he came into
Mm-hmm.
Mando, so he considered him, or the
Mm-hmm.
Mandalorians consider him as a
It's a part of
Mandalorian.
his thing.
Right, so you know the younglings they get like this armor, you know, and it's just like okay, so how do they grow into it? Does it grow with them or whatever? It looks like a
I
midriff.
don't.
Like I said, I'm waiting for Grogu to be on RuPaul's Drag Race with lipstick and high heels on with that midriff on. For real, that's gonna be pretty crazy.
And here's the thing, though, like. There's someone that's a Star Wars fan that's like, well, this happened in episode 4, book 5 of whatever. And you're like, okay, all right, that's cool. This doesn't make sense as a TV show.
No,
So I'm
doesn't.
sorry that whatever lore that you read from expanded universe book or whatever explains away. This is dumb as a TV show. And we can't afford dumb when there's only one more episode left. It's too late on the dumb. Dumb. We should make okay. Perfect example of this. Some poor writing.
Mhm.
The fish people or whatever. They're making a drug deal for some spice, and in the middle of the desert on Tatooine, right?
Hmm.
Why is there only one car? They have one
Yeah,
space land speeder.
that's
Who?
it.
How did the other guys get here? Did they walk? Did they teleport them? Did they drop them off in
So
the spaceship? How are they planning to leave? There's only one speeder there. This is
it's a
poor writing.
it's a lot of black holes. You know, you said something really quickly. You said we were talking off camera about how you know
Mhm.
sort of got into like the whole Star Wars thing, you know, and everything else. Um, and then it's gotten it's not as good as it used to be. Now, would you say that the stuff you really like, let's just say before Mandalorian and also obviously Boba Fett, was done
Mhm.
when Lucas was running the show, and then the
Well,
really not so great stuff is now with like Kennedy or what?
okay. This is a twofold problem, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that for sure I like episodes 1 through 6 better than 7, 8, 9, for sure.
Mm-hmm.
And 7, 8, 9 is all Kathleen Kennedy and J.J. Abrams, and they're doing their thing over there. Uh this thing doesn't seem to flow and make sense. Like they're trying to fit a puzzle piece into some other blocks,
Yeah.
and they're trying to solve it with nostalgia. Like here, everybody, here's Luke Skywalker. Hey, you like the Mandalorian? Here's the Mandalorian. Here's Ahsoka Tano, or whatever her name is.
Mm-hmm.
Ahsoka Tano. Like
Mm-hmm.
here's things that you like. Well, you remember that? Like our show now? Like no. And
Doesn't.
so
Yeah.
it's a kind of a you're trying to solve the deficits from poor writing and terrible plot with hey, remember that thing that was cool that you liked as a kid? And that to me seems like that's a poor decision making from whoever's in charge of this show. I To me, this show seems like they had heavy rewrites and they adjusted stuff on the fly while they were filming it because there's no strategy here.
That's a very good point. I think for sure episodes 5 and 6, the introducing the Mandalorian, that feels
Mhm.
like that was a rewrite. You know, like, hey, well, this is really popping off.
Yeah.
Let's bring
Yes.
him in because right now the writers were like, this guy, this show sucks. I mean, the writers were saying that like we're up to like episode 3 and 4, and it's just like we need something different. This just isn't flowing. And they were
Mhm.
like, hey, well, we're in the Mandalorian studio. How about we bring in a Mandalorian? You know, it's a mess. I don't even know if we want to do an
Yeah.
overview, man. We could just talk about what we really,
Well,
what this show
I
is all
mean,
about. If you want to, like, if you want
basically,
to, what's up?
there's not much that happened.
Yeah,
Basically, there's a shootout with the Marshal that was from the Mandalorians, another Mandalorian
that was
character.
weird.
So they had that thing here. That character is supposed to be big from the Clone Wars or whatever.
Mhm.
Um, the cartoon, that thing.
Yeah,
Uh, there's a good chunk of the show was with the Mandalorian looking over some bushes at Grogu and Luke Skywalker with the Ahsoka Tano telling him stuff. That's a good chunk of the show right there. And
yeah.
then that the thing with the Marshal took the rest of the show. Uh, it Nothing exciting happened. It was more of a setup for something else that could be cool, maybe. Which I don't think they're gonna stick the landing on either. I don't think they're gonna land this plane.
I don't think
This
that's
thing's
gonna
coming
happen,
in for a
period.
crash with the wheels still stuck up, and it's not going. They're not going to land this thing. There's no way that they can spin the last 6 episodes into something amazing in episode 7. There's no way
It's not gonna
based on
happen,
what's going
man.
on here.
Hmm.
So the only thing that I can come to conclusion for here is that Disney, Kathleen Kennedy are meddling with the show
Yeah.
and kind of wrecking the flow of what they wanted to do. Because that's the only thing that makes sense to me. Because this seems kind of wonky. He's like there's things that are like just silly. Like why would you focus on the Mandalorian? He's It's not his show. He has 2 seasons. Don't
It's
worry about
well,
him.
if it feels like his show now in the last 2 episodes,
Yeah,
right?
he basically took over this whole show.
I mean, come on. I mean, we were talking on, just, exchanging emails, and we basically were saying, I was saying that I don't believe
Mhm.
that I'm watching a guy's show. This is his show, and he didn't even speak
It,
utter one word
it
in
doesn't
his
seem
own
like
show.
the last 3 episodes have been more Mandalorian show than Boba Fett.
Mhm.
That's what it feels like. I would say a 2.5. I'll say
Yeah.
it seems definitely more Mandalorian than Boba Fett. And a thing this again this bothered me is why is this guy so incompetent? Why is he so oblivious to how the world operates? Like this, that's dumb. I want to see a competent, cool, badass guy who's good at his job, who's doing cool things on an adventure. That's what I want.
Yeah.
I'll be happy with that because
I,
Mandalorian's on an adventure. He's on his hero's journey. He's saving Grogu or whatever, and that was the hero's journey right there.
there were some weird things with this episode, though, that I thought was just too out there, right? What bothered you
Okay,
in this show?
how does Mando know exactly where Grogu is? Because Luke just took him and hopped on his X-wing and bounced. He ain't saying nothing. He was like, "Hey, everybody! Hey, if you need me, here's my card. You can go to this planet." He just bounced. He was like,
Yeah.
"Thanks. All right, I'll
Speaking of
take it from here."
Skywalker, I mean, I was looking, I was like, is that really him?
No, they got a actor because like Mark Hamill's like a million years
A
old.
million
Right
years
now.
old. I was just like, this. So, but he's getting credit for
It
it. And
looks
I'm
good
like,
though.
I was like,
I
wow,
think he
this
did
guy
the
looks
voice.
really like him.
He did the voice, but like technology is crazy right now. That
Yeah.
this guy can look like he's 20 something still.
And so he's going to now train Grogu to become like Yoda. And
The Yoda.
a Yoda.
Grogu doesn't seem like he wants to be a Jedi. So why are you forcing it? This guy could care
He's
less
like,
about
dude,
this.
the man, I want to hang out with the Mandalorian.
Yeah, this is dope. He doesn't seem like he cares that much to be. They're forcing it on him. They're like, yeah, you're gonna train. This guy, he was trying to eat the Cyclops frog or whatever that thing was.
Yeah, I know.
He's like, he's having fun. He's a kid.
That was
He's a
kind of weird.
60-year-old kid.
Yeah. You only saw Boba
Fett.
Fett for
Yeah, he only
about
spoke for like 2 seconds.
maybe 3 to 5 minutes, and he did not say one word. It was all Fennec speaking, and it was just like something is going on because Mandalorian, Mando, and Boba Fett, they know each other. So he walks into his palace. Mandalorian walks into Boba Fett's palace. Boba Fett is there. He did not utter one, like, hey, dude, man, where you been? How's it going? I haven't seen you in a long time. What's going on? Yeah, exactly. A head nod or something. He didn't do anything. I'm starting to think, I'm like, was he like,
you think he's there?
Virtually placed there? Exactly. It's just like, I don't think he was there. I don't think they were in the same room because if you look at it, the picture, the color grading in the picture does look slightly off, slightly different.
Or it's a reshoot. And they're like, we could get the Mandalorian in here. All right, we're just gonna redo the dub. And Mandalorian's standing over here now.
Yeah.
I don't know. I need to watch it again. I didn't really think about it until you just said it. I need to rewatch it again. It's very possible that was a reshoot and they just added him in there.
I think it felt like that. It looked like that. I'm just like, oh, wait a minute. I was rewinding back and I was like, this doesn't look like one shot right here.
Yeah, it looks it's an odd positioning and stuff. I don't know.
Yeah.
It seems it's possible. They do this on the green screen thing, so they could do whatever they want.
What do you think about the Lone Ranger scene?
See, that's the thing. I don't remember him from the Clone Wars. I don't even remember who that guy is. So like, I couldn't get excited about it because I'm sure there's Star Wars fans like, oh my god, he's here, whatever. Like I don't remember him from the show.
When I saw him, I was like, he needs his own show because in the Clone Wars, he's got mad respect, dude. People know who he is. He doesn't take any mess. He's a solo artist. Cad Bane, yes, exactly. Cad Bane is bad. He is, dude. You got to watch Cad Bane like on the Clone Wars, right? But that was a weird scene to me because it was like the Lone Ranger scene, right? It was just like a Western where you just had these two people in the streets on a dirt road.
Yeah.
In this case, it's like a sand road.
I like stuff like that. It's the only thing exciting that happened in the whole show.
Right, but I mean, it was just like
hopping around and stuff.
I'm like, but they threw a Western in here, and these guys had like, modern looking guns, right? But they still had guns on holsters and everything, and it was just like
those are 6-shooters, man.
I was like,
those are space 6-shooters.
Really? Are we? This is where we're going with Boba Fett in what, like year 4400? I don't know, but it's just like so ridiculous. It's just like, oh, really? You know? And then he's like, Mandalorian goes to this place and he's just like, what is it called? Freetown. It's called Freetown now. And
Yeah.
he's like, hey, we need muscle. And this, I'm
Mhm.
looking in this town. I'm like, it's only 4 people in this town.
Well, like they helped with when the Mandalorian when he had his own show, they did help them take
Hmm.
over some kind of dragon thingamajig.
Yeah.
There's a couple of people that crawled out of the woodworks for that, but like
That was
I
a
don't know.
cool scene on the Mandalorian too when they
Yeah,
did that
that
for the
that dragon thing
dragon.
was I think they spent their
Hmm.
budget on that. Like that was
Yeah.
cool. But like that's the thing. Adventure.
Yeah.
Something cool happened. They went on an adventure.
Right.
He left Tatooine, did cool things, came back to Tatooine, did cool things on Tatooine. More of that, please. I would like more of that.
Yeah. It's a little interesting. Then Bane kills the both of them, the sheriff and the deputy. Right. They're
So
done.
is he like a gunslinger on Clone? I
He
cannot remember
he
him in
is a
Clone Wars. Like, it's a while ago.
gunslinger, dude. He does not play around. Listen,
Mhm.
the Sith, they don't even mess with him.
Really? Okay.
You know,
I can't. Yeah, I cannot remember
Darth
anything
Maul
about
was like,
that.
well, we can do business together, but I'm not trying to be into something with this guy. I think he does, his hat does something too. He could do something with his hat. But
Okay.
yeah, Bane is, yo, dude, he is serious. I mean, when I saw him on Boba Fett, I was like, oh, we need a show about him because he would just be one of those people just Swiss cheese and everything up in the galaxy, you know, just like
He
getting it in,
reminds
man.
me of like a Mortal Kombat character.
He's
That's what I
serious,
see when I
man.
see him. I guess that's what he looks like.
He's not only a shooter, but he could fight too. You know, he's good with his hands
Oh
and his,
yeah.
you know, yeah, he's serious, man. You know, but that
So
was pretty cool
he
seeing him.
did he fight any of like the Jedi or anything like that on like on his match on his level or
Um,
he's just like
the Jedi, he's in and out. You know, he's not going to sit there and
Mhm.
fight, you know, a Sith Lord, even though they just straight up respect him. He's not going to fight Jedi. He'll like get in, throw some punches, you know, create some chaos, and then like,
You
you
get the
know, a
1-2 and then roll
diversion
out.
and bounce. You know what I'm saying?
Okay,
He's
okay.
serious. Yeah, but you know, and he also works with other people to, you know, just get what he wants as well. I mean, he's a serious character, man, for real. And
Well, I
he's a
mean,
solo character.
obviously he's gonna be in the next show and he's gonna be a big part of the next show.
Yeah.
I think that'll go without saying. And that's definitely Dave Filoni because I think he's the one that created him.
Let me ask you this here before we wrap this up because we don't have a lot to
Mhm.
say about this show, man.
Yeah, I
You know,
got
what were give me your best and worst scenes of this show?
Well, that's a good question.
Hmm.
Um, I guess the best scenes of the show is with the Marshal and this Cad Bane guy.
Hmm.
That's probably the best thing that happened during this episode. Uh, the worst, whew, I would say the stuff with Luke and Grogu. That's not interesting. I know people think, oh, we're training. Like it would have been more cool if he was further along with his training, but like he's basically at ABCs and counting blocks. Like I
You
don't want to
know,
see that.
it'd also be
I would
interesting if he could speak too.
yeah, like if he was like a youngling, he's got his lightsaber or whatever. Okay, it would have been cool if he went to get the Kyber crystal or whatever and made his own light. Okay, the adventure, something cool happened. Like okay, sure, but
Yeah.
he's just sitting there meditating for half the show. I don't want to see that. I don't care. Like that's not cool. That's terrible. That's boring as hell. And Luke Skywalker is looking at his billions of dollars and rolling his eyes at this. He's not impressed.
Yeah.
Let's make a. I said Luke Skywalker. uh,
George Lucas
George
just getting
Lucas.
paid, dude. Come on.
George Lucas
You
is
think he
sitting
cares?
on his
He
throne
doesn't
of
care,
billions.
man.
Yeah, no, I think it bothers him. I
Well, he's really
absolutely
cool
think it
with
bothers
with
him.
Kennedy, so maybe they, you know, have lunch, you know, at different times and he speaks
I
to her or whatever.
I don't think he's as cool as he used to be with Kennedy. Because like
Mm.
there are like
It's
Spielberg,
business.
Lucas, and Kennedy go way back
Yeah.
from Indiana because she used to produce Indiana
De
Jones
Palma too.
movies.
They all came up in the same at the same time. For real.
Yeah, yeah. So like he definitely knows her, which is why I think he's like, yeah, I'll sell it to Disney. It's in good hands. He guessed wrong.
So Cad Bane, that episode, or at least that segment, was one of your better segments. What about your worst segment?
The worst segment for me is the selling the spice thing, whatever that drug deal with the spice.
Mm.
So many loopholes or the plot holes
Mm.
of what the hell's going on here. So you guys drove out into the desert next to a place where people would be at instead of a place where nobody would be at. Why'd you do that? Also, uh, most of Tatooine is run by drug lords and crime criminals. Why'd you have to go out to the middle of nowhere to do your deal? You guys, they claim you guys took over this thing already. So why wouldn't you just do it in one of these casinos or whatever? Or
Yeah,
go in the
that's true.
back parking lot with your speeder and just do the deal there. Like, or go to somebody's house. Like, why'd you go out in the middle of nowhere to be around this guy? Like, it was a silly plot convenience so
How
that
did
he
he
could show up.
appear too? I mean, you didn't even hear him come up. I mean, like, was he just? Did he come up out of the sand or something like that? How did he?
They're in
You
a
know?
flat desert. There's no
Yeah.
hills. There's nothing. There's flat desert. How did you not see him walking?
Right.
For he had to been walking for miles. Like nobody was like,
That's what I'm
yo,
saying.
who's
That
this
was a
guy?
plot hole right there. You know.
Who the hell's this
Um.
guy up here? Like, yo,
Okay, I'm gonna give you
like
mine.
knock
Okay,
my headphones off, man.
I'm
All
gonna
right, yo,
take it.
what's your best and worst?
Okay, dude. My best scene. Well, let me start with my worst scene. My worst scene was the fight with Cad Bane and the other guy. That was my worst scene. Why?
Okay.
Because it was too Western like, you know, and just the whole thing, the guns on the holsters. I'm like, are we? Where are we? You know, what's going on here? You know.
Okay.
But my
All
best
right.
scene, and I know this is gonna sound weird, but my best scene was
Mhm.
the same scene.
Okay.
Now, the reason why it was my best scene as well is because Cad Bane does not take any mess. He is, when I saw him, I was like, dude, we need a Cad Bane show because Cad Bane is, man, he Swisses cats out, you
See,
know?
if they gave him a show, they're gonna turn him. They're gonna water him down and make him corny.
Okay, first of all, you can give him an animated show and that'd be sick. You know, I always go animated, right? But he can't be corny. He's not one
I
of
used
those
to think
guys
that
who's
about
gonna sit
Boba
down.
Fett.
He's not gonna sit down. You won't even see him like, you know, at a bar, you know, flirting. That's not
Mhm.
his style. He comes in, he does business, he bounce. That's it.
I used to literally think that about Boba Fett.
Yeah. So
You
those were
can't make that guy
that
corny.
scene was my best and worst scene. You know,
Okay.
which is kind of interesting. Honorable mention scene that I liked overall was like when the club blew up. Right,
Yeah, yeah,
that
that
was
was kind of
crazy.
cool.
That was
That was
kind of
kind of
cool too. It was just like,
the
okay,
mob.
once they came in, once the Pikes came in with that canister, I was like, that's a bomb. I
Yeah,
was
yeah,
like,
you can
that's a
see that a mile
bomb.
away.
Like they
I
sit
was like,
down
oh my god, I
and
can't
then
believe
they
this happened.
leave.
I was like, yeah.
Right. I was like, that's a bomb. They sit down, they leave without it. You know, the droid picks it up. Hey, you look, the whole joint is done. I mean, you know,
But like, okay, all right, that has to be the dumbest establishment. These guys were like, oh, you're the new crime boss. Okay, here's some money. What? How? Why? Why'd you give the money? You're not gonna test them. You're not gonna do anything. Yes, you're the new crime boss. Here's money.
yeah.
Idiots. Okay, you have all this money in this casino type thing. There's no security. Word? What?
Yeah, that's weird too, you know. But Cad Bane, that introduction was pretty sick.
Mm,
I also think you know, when they introduced the assassin Wookiee, that was also a pretty
yes.
interesting,
So like
you know, introduction.
you're giving people what they want. You're like, okay, you got good adversaries. All right, cool. You made the adversaries actually cool looking, and you made them look like they can handle business. You didn't make these guys look corny or like they're pushovers. They look like they'll give anybody some work if they had to.
Excuse me.
Why don't you do anything else with them?
Man, this could have been a great Bang Bang show. You know, just Boba Fett doing what he does. Bang Bang.
Shootout.
You know,
Yeah, the shootout.
all day,
Like in
you
a
know.
bar or whatever. It's like they were like, hey, cut the budget back. Walking and talking. We need more walking and talking, less special effects. No one explosion. We're just gonna do the outside. Don't do anything else.
Yeah.
And then we're gonna have a group thing talking with the hologram. Done. Let's go.
That's it.
Knock this episode out. Let's go. Bank it.
All right, Keo, listen, we have one episode left, man. What do you think's going to happen? Is this going to be like the, oh, we're going to get what we're looking for show?
I think that it's going to be a letdown, and they may have a good fight with the Cad Bane guy,
Yeah.
and
And the Pikes, for
it's gonna
real.
be it's gonna be the Mandalorian fighting him. Clearly, it's not gonna
Yeah.
be Boba Fett.
Yeah, Boba Fett,
Like,
no.
moly, like it's not gonna.
I
You're
think
not
he's
gonna
going to
see him
run
roll
out of
around.
fiber, and that's going to be it. It's just like, well,
Yeah,
I can't do
Boba Fett.
anything because I don't have any more fiber. So,
So it's gonna be Mandalorian fighting the guy for sure, and I think that the fight with the Pikes is not gonna be that great.
it's not
It's
going to be
gonna be
that
kind of
great, man.
shortchanged.
People are going to get hurt for real.
Yeah.
Before we wrap it up, I just want to let everyone know that we released our first video of the Cheesy But Good series. It's listed on the channel. Go check it out. It's just a short clip, maybe 2 or 3 minutes. That's what the Cheesy But Good is going to be about. Just really short bangers where we just talk about shows we watched that are cheesy but good. So go check it out. Show the love. Well, there you have it. Another episode of the Behind the Groove podcast. I am Basil Barrington.
I am DJ Keo.
Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. And until next time, peace.
All right.